Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Red Raptor Writes. And today I have a sequel WatchMojo video. So, actually last video I think was my reaction to their top 20 scientific inaccuracies in Jurassic Park. And they had some good ones, they had some kind of frivolous ones, and I was a little impressed in the science, but you know, there were some hiccups. That thumbnail was definitely not it. A lot of you point that out too. And so, I'm working right now on a Prehistoric Planet 2 review, and it's taking a while, alright? The creative juices are just not flowing like they should be flowing. And I'm going on a second vacation right after the last vacation I took to DC. Now I'm going to Lake George. And I figured that, again, I don't want to leave you without content while I work on this Prehistoric Planet 2 script and go on vacation. I'm also working on a giant Bioshock analysis because that's my favorite game and there's a lot to talk about there. It's gonna be like 2.5 hours long by the end of it, maybe more. It's crazy. So again, I figured I need to give you guys content. I want you to have content. So let's look at WatchMojo's top 20 extremely dangerous dinosaurs. Now something tells me this is gonna be pretty awesome, bro. And I'm not sure how this is gonna do. You see, I guess Allosaurus is gonna be in it. This is Allosaurus from Planet Dinosaur. And before I get started, I do want to say also that if we're going to be ranking top 20 extremely dangerous dinosaurs, I'm assuming they mean dangerous to humans, because dangerous depends on what animal you are. Like, what's dangerous to a lizard is not the same thing that's dangerous to a sauropod. An Allosaurus won't care about a lizard, but it will care about that sauropod. And, you know, something, say like a Sauroornithoides or something, might care more about a lizard and not a sauropod. So it really depends on your perspective, really. So again, I'm assuming we're talking about humans, and if you're talking about humans, you need something that's kind of in the human size category. Something like Styracosaurus or Ceratosaurus or Utahraptor. These will be dangerous to humans. I mean, they weigh a lot more than humans, but the dimensions they're kind of around that height. We're kind of like, would be an easy kill for them, easy prey. You know, the kind of prey they're looking for. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here. I think Allosaurus can do a decent job murdering me, but alright, let's see what they say. So, I'm going to try to go into this open-minded. Again, a lot of you, I saw some comments criticizing WatchMojo. I saw some praising them. Let's just see how they do. I want to be a little objective here. Alright. And, without further delay, let's begin.
Allosaurus, a 1.5-ton ambush hunter with...
Is it supposed to be blind in this eye? It looks like this eye is faded. Anyways.
The world had never known a predator like...
I do like those crests, but then it has like this weird, like, it has like another crest above the eyes when like the crest should be in front of the eyes here. I don't know, it has both and it's kind of off-putting. Anyways.
Today, we're counting down our picks for dinosaurs who
Alright,
represent some of the
Triceratops,
deadliest
I can see
creatures
that.
to ever walk, swim, or fly the earth.
Something that continues to fascinate us is how...
But again, dangerous to what? Dangerous to what? I'm gonna assume it's to us. It's just to other things, because everything can be dangerous to something else. It just depends on what you are.
good they were at hunting.
Like, I don't think a Triceratops is dangerous to a mouse.
During the Triassic period, large sauropods walked the land while plesiosaurs stalked the seas. It was a dangerous era filled with predators and...
Wait, what did they say about the Triassic?
Large sauropods walked the land...
And they said the Triassic, right?
Number 20, Coelophysis. During the Triassic period, large sauropods walked...
They weren't really large sauropods during the Triassic. I mean, they were large sauropodomorphs. Like, creatures turning into what will become sauropods. And, you know, that lineage there. And they were large, of course, especially by today's standards for animals. But the really large ones don't come until the Jurassic. Like, the mid and late Jurassic. And then the huge titanosaurs... like Granodus or the Dinosaurs are in the Cretaceous. So, I don't know what you're talking about the Triassic. Though there are some very huge ichthyosaurs.
land while plesiosaurs stalked the seas. It was a dangerous era filled with predators and natural disasters.
Okay, I said
One of
plesiosaurs,
the
yeah.
greatest dangers of the Triassic was also one of its smallest, the coelophysis.
One type of reptile has evolved to thrive in drought. Dinosaurs like
Coelophysis, it's pretty dangerous. I mean, how big is it? Like 2 meters-ish? Maybe a little more than that? I don't know. I mean, it's dangerous. I don't want to... I'd beat it up, but I don't want to fight it. But, top 20 of all the dinosaurs out there, a cassowary is probably going to beat a coelophysis. Well, it's going to beat me better than a coelophysis would.
This seemingly fragile, tiny creature thrived during one of the most
It's not
chaotic
tiny.
eras on Earth. Don't let its almost cute exterior fool you. The coelophysis was a stone-cold killer. It had grasping arms, which helped to pin down prey. But the defining feature of these tiny killers is that they were built for speed.
The Walking with Dinosaurs has the huge neck coelophysis. I mean, I guess it's about as dangerous as any other small carnivore would, but... Alright.
They ran in packs and would run their prey down, overwhelming them with numbers. Teamwork made the Triassic...
Packs? I mean, there are large bone beds, like, large gatherings of coelophysis probably died together, maybe. I need to go back to that. I haven't done my coelophysis research in a while, but again, you can't just assume pack hunting and everything. Even if they died together, it doesn't necessarily mean that they lived together and hunted together. Though I can see why having a gregarious behavior would make them more dangerous to me than some other dinosaur. Okay.
Dream work.
Kind of makes
Number
sense.
19, Saurophaganax.
Okay, well, just jumping around, alright.
America, where it was the largest land predator of the late Jurassic.
Yep, that's true. It's true. Do we have any good Saurophaganax specimens? I don't think we have that much of it, right? Unless I'm completely crazy. So, like, when we think of a Saurophaganax, it's really just big Allosaurus.
At 12 meters, it is the biggest carnivore in the region.
It was equipped with deadly meat
okay.
chevrons on its tail. It grew to around 40 feet in length, weighing in at more than 3 metric tons. The Saurophaganax sported tremendous...
That's pretty weird that... I mean, if it makes the 40 feet, I think that's kind of like an overestimation. I think smaller estimates have come more recently. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I haven't done my Saurophaganax research recently. But it's crazy that even if it is 40 feet, it's only 3 tons, where Tyrannosaurus would be about that same length, but is over twice that weight at 8 tons, almost 3 times the weight. It's crazy.
Tremendous claws and jaws of steel. Think of the mighty Allosaurus, but on steroids.
I mean, that's basically what it
Saurophaganax
is.
was the apex predator in its place and time. There was no dinosaur it could not hunt and kill.
And one of the
I mean, but I don't think it would... yeah, probably not. Okay, I'd say that it's not gonna hunt and kill like a fully grown, like, sauropod, like a Apatosaurus or Brachiosaurus. And it can't kill small things. So it's kind of like... I know they're gonna put a bunch of big theropods on this list. And it's like... How much would a big theropod really care about my existence? I might be a nice snack, alright? I might be a nice snack. But... I don't know. I don't see them, like, as dangerous as something like Utahraptor or a Ceratosaurus, which live with these guys. Where it's more in our size range, where we would be more of a meal to them.
advantages
They
of
would
being
care
so
more about
big is
hunting
that
us.
stealing another's kill is that much easier.
It was one of the main predators of the Stegosaurus. Number 18, Acrocanthosaurus.
Where did they get this from? What model is this? Has the goofy lips at the end, or lack of lips at the end, and the pronated wrists, and I don't know what that skin texture is.
The world was
Alright.
terrorized by the mighty Acrocanthosaurus. The Acrocanthosaurus was the largest theropod
It's a little
in
bit
North
better,
America
but
during the early
not
Cretaceous.
by much.
It likely stalked and feasted upon local ankylosaurs, ornithopods, and sauropods. Its name means high-spined lizard after the row of spiked...
You know, all good information. I just wish that they showed better depictions of it. This is pretty good. I like it has the wrist correct. The head shape is better. It's not as shrink wrapped. You know, so the information they're given is pretty good, but just find better pictures. Get a better editor.
Along its spine. It was smaller than a T-Rex, but was the apex predator of its age. It was a Texas boy, and even today, its footprints are fossilized all over the Lone Star State. Even so, pieces of Acrocanthosaurus have been found as far east as Maryland. This tells us that in its day, it may have...
I think that was like a more recent discovery too, that what's been interpreted as Acrocanthosaurus remains on the East Coast. So they were getting around North America, and they went pretty far north too, not just in Texas. It was like Wyoming-ish.
Like, no. Across most of the continent.
Yeah,
That's
pretty much.
Number 17, Diplodocus.
So I guess the Western Interior Seaway didn't really develop yet. It wasn't really fully formed like you would see in, say, the Campanian of the late Cretaceous, where it just splits the continent down the middle. So Acrocanthosaurus can still get across the continent. It's like bears, right? There are black bears like all over the continent. One keeps getting into my trash can. But then you would also find them all the way in California, the La Brea tar pits. So I guess it makes sense.
The Diplodocus
Interesting.
is one of the few herbivores on this list.
Why?
One look makes it clear as to
why. Why would it be one of the few?
A family of dinosaurs called the sauropods that dominate this period in Earth's history. They are the largest animals that will ever walk the planet.
This sauropod may have been gentle, but it was truly a giant. On average, they grew to a height of over 80 feet and could push almost...
A height of 80 feet? Maybe like a length of 80 feet. A height of 80 feet, man. That thing's huge. That's giant. Oh my gosh. It's one of the largest dinosaurs ever. No. Maybe like a large specimen might be over 100 feet, but on average, yeah, okay, about that length.
Tons. Its size and massive legs alone could prove deadly to a predator. More importantly, they were armed with an almost 40-foot-long sinuous tail.
Saved by the huge tail of a larger Diplodocus.
I like the adjective of sinuous. That's a good adjective. I know this hypothesis of the whip tail. If I get hit by a Diplodocus tail, yeah, I'm dead. Okay, I can kind of see this on the list. But that's like if I'm stupid enough and approach a Diplodocus. So it really depends on my stupidity level for the day.
It could move fluidly like a bullwhip. Scientists recently performed simulations based on scans of Diplodocus fossils. They determined that when wielded in defense, the Diplodocus could swing its tail with the force of a Mack truck speeding down a highway.
But I've also heard the argument that maybe you don't want to be whipping things with your tail at max force because you might break your tail vertebrae. So, I don't know. This might be a paleo myth. We might either get a paleo myth on this one.
Number
but
16,
I can see it.
Triceratops.
Triceratops, I can see it.
Triceratops is not only one of the most well-known dinosaurs around, it was also one of the deadliest herbivores to
Why clash with the dinosaurs? They're better Triceratops out there.
Triceratops is the most dangerous dinosaur, probably the most dangerous animal ever to have evolved on land.
It was slow,
Interesting.
but
Thank you, Bob
well-armored
Barker.
like an ancient living tank. While its horns and frills may have been primarily used for attracting mates, they were also deadly weapons. In 2000,
I mean, yeah, I see that. You don't want to be fighting a Triceratops, especially not from the front. Herbivores might be more dangerous because if it's you fighting an herbivore, the herbivore thinks you're a threat. It's fighting for its life. You're not just a meal that, you can outrun the predator, maybe. Like, the herbivore is taking you down, alright? It needs to defend itself, defend its brethren. You're going down.
2020, paleontologists in Montana found a fascinating set of fossils, a Triceratops next to a Tyrannosaurus rex. While the Triceratops had T-Rex teeth embedded in its spine, it appears to have done lethal damage to its killer. The T-Rex had a shattered skull, broken teeth, and a broken hand. This beast may not have...
I don't feel like I've heard about this finding. Maybe this is like one of those finds where you find... Oh, they find them like near each other and they kind of come up with this story around it when really these are just two fossils that you found. I don't know if I don't know about this one.
Eaten meat, but it could turn the toughest predator into food for scavengers.
Here we have one of the greatest predators nature has ever produced and one of the greatest defenders nature has ever produced, sparring off with some truly awesome weapons.
I feel so bad for Dr. Thomas Holt speaking there, because I mean, he's a great paleontologist. He does a lot of good work, good papers, good commentary on other work. But he just ends up in all of these terrible shows. It's really sad. He's in Clash of the Dinosaurs. I think he's in Monsters Resurrected also. And Jurassic Fight Club. So he just ends up in the worst shows possible. Poor guy.
Number 15. Gigantoraptor. When you hear the name
Gigantoraptor,
Gigantoraptor, you may imagine a massive version of the classic Jurassic Park animal.
I guess.
Instead, try to imagine a dinosaur cousin of a killer ostrich that haunts your nightmares.
Gigantoraptor was discovered in 2007 in the Gobi Desert of Mongolia. The sheer size of the bones...
I mean, I guess it depends on its diet, right? If it's Gigantoraptor, I mean, Oviraptorids or Oviraptorosaurs, it's a Caenignatid, I believe, might have had a varied diet of like plants, maybe eggs, maybe they did eat eggs, small animals, and to a Gigantoraptor, we count as a small animal. So maybe I might get shreked up by one of these guys. Who knows?
It was unlike anything found before. 8
yeah, these things are huge.
Weighing around 1.5 tons.
It was relatively small, around 16 feet tall, and lightweight. As a result, the thing could run. When it caught its prey, it would take it down with its razor-sharp beak. One paleontologist, Cassius Morrison, believes it was sharp and powerful enough to easily bite a human in half. Though they had relatively gangly arms, those arms ended in long claws that could tear into most herbivores.
I mean, yeah, alright, I could see that. I could see the argument for this. This is not something I would want to face. Alright. Let's continue.
14, Megaraptor.
Oh, this is an interesting inclusion.
Pure nightmare fuel, as if a mad scientist...
And it's kind of like right in that size range too, where we would be a good food source for it. It has those giant claws. I mean, it's a theropod, sharp teeth, foot claws that can tear you apart. Probably can run you down. How fast is the fastest human? Like, Usain Bolt was like 27 something-ish miles per hour. Yeah, I can see this. When I'm on the treadmill, I go, what? If I want to, like, show off, do max, like, 17, 18 miles per hour back in my prime, yeah, I'm getting killed by this. This is gonna go faster than me. And for longer, probably.
Like its smaller cousin, the Megaraptor's feet each had one vicious killing claw.
Hey, wait a minute. Do you call Velociraptor its cousin?
Mad scientist hit a Velociraptor with a growth ray. Like its smaller cousin.
Yeah, no, okay. Velociraptor is not a cousin of Megaraptor. Unless they're using the term, like, really loosely. Like, I could call Deinonychus and Velociraptor cousins. They're in the same family. But Megaraptor... Megaraptoridae, these are also Coelurosaurs, but a different branch of Coelurosaurs. They're not, like, Maniraptorans or Dromaeosaurids, so no, not a cousin of Velociraptor.
Megaraptor's feet each had one vicious killing claw. But while the Velociraptor claw was around 2.5 inches long, the Megaraptor claw measured 14.
I mean, it has those giant hook claws on its hand, but the foot claws aren't really that pronounced, like a Dromaeosaurid. I mean, they'll still rip me apart, but it's not like the same design of claw to pin its prey down.
It essentially ran around the late Cretaceous with butcher knives on its feet. Its teeth, too, were serrated.
It's on its hands.
The Megaraptor was designed from head to toe with the sole purpose of tearing prey to literal pieces. By measuring its brain-to-body ratio, scientists are confident that the Megaraptor was one of the most intelligent creatures of its time.
Oh, I could see that for a Coelurosaur. I could see that.
Made Megaraptor a well-armed, super-intelligent killing machine.
I like the inclusion of Megaraptor. I think it's fitting for the list, but just the explanation that they gave was just... No. No. So you unconvinced me of Megaraptor. Thank you for that.
Number 13. Tarbosaurus.
Okay.
The Tarbosaurus was the deadly king of the Korean Peninsula and other parts of East Asia during the late Cretaceous.
Korean Peninsula? How much has been found in Korea? I mean, it's mostly from Mongolia, right? Yeah. It's from Mongolia. Maybe got into, like, inner Mongolia in China, but... I don't know how much was found in Korea.
Turbosaurs.
Oh, of course, they have to say sword. They can't finish the name. Yeah.
Sized and armed. Based on analysis of its skeleton, paleontologists are confident in their guesses as to the Tarbosaurus's diet. While the T-Rex may have specialized in hunting smaller, well-armored beasts, the Tarbosaurus went after bigger game.
The Turbosaurs have also had success.
Right, it has a bit of a different anatomy than T-Rex. Tarbosaurus isn't as heavily built and as chunky as its North American relative, its cousin T-Rex. I can say that for this. The head is thinner. It's not as blood for just crushing things. So maybe it could have had more success hunting the sauropods that still lived in Asia at the end of the Cretaceous, because in North America there weren't really any sauropods at the end of the Cretaceous aside from Alamosaurus, which lived further south. I mean, T-Rex may have lived that far south. There's T. micraensis, but aside from that, it's besides the point. Yeah, so it's a bit different, but what about it is better to, I don't know, what makes it more dangerous here? Because Tarbosaurus, if it's hunting sauropods, it would just ignore me. Right? Or I'd only be a snack. I'd be low up on the priority list. Okay, I'm back. I just had to take Indy for a walk. No, let's see. Where were we? Tarbosaurus. Okay, let's go.
The rigidity and thickness of its skull suggest it went after huge prey like roaming sauropods.
Then why is it dangerous to me? Okay, I guess they didn't say it's dangerous to me, but from my point of view, why should I care if it's hunting sauropods? That would make it more dangerous to me. But again, if they're going with it's dangerous to sauropods or dangerous to whatever the meal is, anything is dangerous to something else. Something that they're defending against or something that they're attacking. You can have Compsognathus or Yi Chi or Microraptor as the most dangerous because they're very dangerous to very small things. So, do you see the point? It's all relative here. There's no concrete standard to which we're holding them all to. So this list basically just means nothing. This is a list of nothing. Just cool dinosaurs that look cool and mean. That's what the list is.
The name Carnotaurus means meat-eating bull.
Yes, it does.
Given what we know,
good job.
It's incredibly appropriate.
Oh no, the poor guy. This is the poor simp who gets ejected. Sorry,
While it may
man.
resemble a T-Rex, the Carnotaurus was much smaller and sported a shockingly short skull compared to other predators.
Yeah,
While
it's
the
an abellisaurid.
T-Rex was built for
So,
large game.
it has the very short blunt face and the super tiny arms. I could see this maybe as like a runner. That's why it's dangerous. Not just because it looks cool or anything. I think it might have ran pretty fast. It has very large tail muscles to support running and locomotion.
The Carnotaurus was built for speed. It likely killed and ate its prey quickly,
Yes, it was.
desperate to
Well,
not lose a meal to a larger predator.
But Carnotaurus was the largest in its ecosystem, unless you mean another Carnotaurus. But then you could say that about any predator. We don't really know that Carnotaurus ate particularly fast.
It
They're just
had
saying
a thick,
things.
muscular neck and horns atop its head.
So,
This suggests that it was skilled at pushing and shoving, and could headbutt the flanks of other animals. It also had a...
I don't know. I don't know if it's... Maybe it might do like a shoving match kind of thing, but to ram into something, I don't know. Especially another large animal, that's not happening. This is a bad illustration. Look at those arms. Those are like Giganotosaurus arms. No. It's not a bellisaurid.
Any unlucky herbivore. Number 11, Troodon. The Troodon was a small carnivore
Troodon?
that...
First, okay, we're saying Troodon here, which is already a red flag. So, no, thank you. Unless he means Stenonychosaurus. I don't know. Troodon, I hear whisperings of someone's gonna bring Troodon back, or Troodon's not dead yet, or whatever. People just keep using it because it's popular. If Troodon wasn't a popular name, then it would not be used anymore. Alright, we would have gotten over it, like how we've gotten over other names like Dynamoterror or Anatotitan. this would just be another example of that if people stopped holding on to nostalgia.
North America in the late Cretaceous period.
Troodon may not look as lethal as a tyrannosaur, but fossil evidence suggests that these two were deadly hunters.
They would have been more
surviving
feathered than that,
entirely
though.
on a diet of meat.
This is way too
Scientists
scaly.
believe that it was one of the most intelligent dinosaurs to have ever lived. It was compact, lightweight, and sported long legs, suggesting that it was a speedy predator. It had big eyes with
What number is this? What number am I looking at here? I can't tell. I must have missed that part, but I don't know. It's not that that terrible. I mean, it could probably mess someone up if it wanted to, but we're in the second half of this, so I mean, you could say that about any dinosaur, really.
Which
Well, most of
probably
them.
meant it hunted at night, stalking the forest floor. The Troodon, unlike other theropods, had sharp serrated teeth.
What do you mean, unlike other theropods? Pretty much all, or almost all, had sharp serrated teeth. You're just making stuff up to make it sound cooler. Though, yeah, it probably was smarter than your average dinosaur. Probably one of the smarter ones, considering, I think it's from, like, the brain to body mass ratio that it had a very high one of those.
According to paleontologists, this may have meant that the Troodon was an omnivore. It also meant that their bites left ragged, torn wounds that would ensure their prey bled out quickly. Number 10.
I mean, yes, they did have special, different-looking teeth, but to say that they're the only ones with serrated teeth, of course not. Alright, Stegosaurus. I feel like there's another one where if I walked up to it like an idiot, I'd probably get killed. Alright.
Stegosaurus. Stegosaurus is undoubtedly one of the most popular types of dinosaur, but they were also one of the most dangerous. Don't let its
probably
omnivorous
true.
nature fool you.
I mean, even if it's not going to hit you with the spikes, it could trample you really easily.
A Stegosaurus could mess up other dinosaurs like nobody's business. This guy was extremely large, heavily built, and covered in plates, which made it a physically intimidating foe. However,
But being intimidating doesn't make you dangerous. I don't think the plates are doing much damage to anyone.
it's their tail spikes, known as the thagomizer, that made the Stegosaurus
Oh, very
so
true.
dangerous. These spikes protruded from the tail,
And that comes from a comic where they're showing, this is the thing that killed Thag. So it's a Thagomizer, thing that murders you. Thag being another caveman. No, this was definitely a weapon. We see Allosaurus, was it their hip with a hole in it from a Stegosaurus tail spike? At least it fits the hole. It seems like Stegosaurus is actually using this for why we think we're using it, which is just to mess up predators or maybe rivals, who knows.
reach up to 3 feet in length. And when used with the might of the massive Stegosaurus, well, let's just say it wouldn't feel very good to be punctured.
Though it is worth mentioning that all these Stegosaurus are just like extra chunky, that boxy 90s style of Stegosaurus, rather than a Stegosaurus that looks more like other Stegosaurids, with has a longer neck, maybe thinner build, but still, totally Shrek you up.
With it.
It just kills the Diplodocus for no reason,
Number
just
9,
because it's cool.
Mapusaurus. The Mapusaurus was the same.
But why is Mapusaurus so far ahead of Acrocanthosaurus? They're very similar creatures. They're both Carcharodontosaurs. So what is it about Mapusaurus particularly that makes it so much higher on the list? What number is this? Does it say number 9?
Number 9.
9.
Mapusaurus.
I don't know. And they're probably going to say Giganotosaurus further down the list. Which then I would have to ask, why is Giganotosaurus so much higher than Mapusaurus? Even though they're like very closely related to each other.
The
Very
Mapusaurus
similar
was the same
dinosaurs.
size as the Gigantosaurus. So you
Gigantosaurus!
know that the Mapusaurus was one big and nasty dude.
Oh, come
A
on.
humongous creature. The Mapusaurus measured roughly 33 feet long and weighed 3...
That's weird. They say 33 feet long. That seems like an underestimation, which is not something that happens often. They usually want to make it sound cooler and badder. So this would have been like 12 meters, like 39, 40 feet long too. Like comparable to Tyrannosaurus, and maybe slightly less long than Giganotosaurus, or maybe in that ballpark there. All right.
metric tons.
So they put it in like the Albertosaurus, getting into Tarbosaurus-ish area, it would have been like higher up there.
As if that wasn't enough, researchers have theorized that the Mapusaurus hunted in packs, and there's evidence of these creatures taking down the Argentinosaurus, a massive sauropod measuring 100 feet long.
What's the evidence of them taking down Argentinosaurus? We only have like bits of Argentinosaurus. There's no evidence of that. Maybe there's evidence of other large theropods attacking other large sauropods, but this particular one, I mean, it probably did. They lived together, yes. And it probably ate young, weak, sick Argentinosaurus. But we don't quite have that evidence yet. And to assume that they hunted in packs, I mean, it's possible. I know there's assemblage. We found different ages living together, or at least they were dead together and died in the same place. This is one of those ones where, like, this Albertosaurus, maybe Deinonychus, if I'm really stretching it and being generous. You can make that argument, but it is not the most likely of scenarios. It's possible, but I'm not betting money on it.
And weighing up to 100 metric tons. It seems as if size didn't matter to the fury that was a hungry pack of Mapusauruses.
Sorry, I had to laugh at that.
Utah Raptor.
See, there we go. Utah Raptor should be much higher on the list than number 8. Alright, we would be good game for Utah Raptor. they're what, like half a ton in weight, about 6 feet at the hips, 20 up, was it like up to 24 feet long? This thing is like perfect size range for making us dinner, and it has all those features of a dromaeosaur just on steroids. Okay, let's see. Small with dinosaurs, okay.
To other dinosaurs, but like most tiny
what
fighters,
do you mean just little guys? Tiny? What are you talking about? They're the size of a polar bear. I mean, sure, compared to, it's supposed to be some kind of iguanodontian. Sure, it's smaller than them, but it's still a pretty hefty creature.
They were quick and they were vicious. You certainly wouldn't want to be in its way when it started swinging.
Not quick. Dromaeosaurids are not that fast. Even though they're called the running lizards, they weren't particularly good runners, and they weren't lizards.
The Utah Raptor is estimated to be about 20 feet long and weigh roughly 1,000 pounds. But it's the dino's legs that are really worth noting. The Utah Raptor had extremely long and dangerous claws that could measure up to 9 inches in length.
That's a lot of inches, okay.
Combined with the creature's speed, these deadly claws...
Speed! Stop it! Stop it! Stop buying into the pop culture versions of these dinosaurs. Alright, if I click on top 20 most extremely dangerous dinosaurs, I expect you to be talking about the dinosaurs themselves, not the pop culture versions of them, not the Jurassic Parkified version that you see in the movies. I expect you to be talking about the actual animal, how it was. They were not fast. No.
Would prove extremely dangerous.
Also, much more heavily built than it is here. This is like still the 90s. We didn't really know much about this yet. We didn't have that much material on it, but they basically just made it large Deinonychus at this time. Hey, little indie.
Indeed. Number 7, Carcharodontosaurus. The massive
It's gonna be upset. I'm slowly losing my sanity here. Okay, so please explain to me, why is Carcharodontosaurus 2 levels higher than Mapusaurus, and was Acrocanthosaurus only the second one they talked about? Alright, please tell me what's going on here.
The biggest dinosaurs in existence, including the Tyrannosaurus and the previously mentioned Gigantosaurus.
Giganotosaurus or Giganotosaurus or Giganotosaurus, whatever you want to call it. It's not that. It's not Gigantosaurus. Oh my gosh.
Scientists claim that the dinosaur could measure up to 44 feet long and weigh up to 15 metric.
That's an overestimation right there. You have underestimations and you have overestimations. Okay, so I guess it's the size that makes the Carcharodontosaurus so much more dangerous than Mapusaurus. No, that's too much.
Tons. and boasted 8-inch long serrated teeth to line its mouth. To summarize, it was quite a beast.
It was. It definitely was.
A study done by a man named Donald Henderson even argues that the Carcharodontosaurus
could she not have picked a better noun than that? There's just a man, Donald Henderson. You know, he's just some guy at your local Walmart, okay? So Donald, can you tell me about this creature? No, he's a paleontologist. Come on.
Lift dinosaurs weighing up to 935 pounds in its jaws due to its strength and sharp teeth. That thing could kill smaller dinosaurs
I can believe that.
with a single bite.
I mean, yeah, of course it can. What's the standard here? By what metrics are we deciding this? Oh, man, I need some chalky milk, but I'm out of chalky milk, man. My wife drank the last of it this morning. I need to go to the store and get some chalky milk. This is hurting me. Okay, Majungasaurus. Probably very dangerous. It's in that same size range as Utahraptor and something like Styracosaurus. It's like 6-ish feet tall. Again, it's about the same length. This is a good size for someone that would want to eat me. Again, I'm using me as a standard here. They don't have standards. They're just WatchMojo. They don't have any standards. But why is this so much higher than Carnotaurus? They put Carcharodontosaurus much higher than Mapusaurus because, according to them, it was much larger, which it's not. They were about in the same size range. But then Majungasaurus is smaller than Carnotaurus. So and they have a pretty similar build. Actually, in fact, Majungasaurus wouldn't have been as fast, probably, had much shorter legs. So what makes Majungasaurus, according to them, so much better than Carnotaurus? Though I will at least give them credit for saying Majungasaurus and not Majungatholus. Right? The bar is that low at this point that I'm concerned about that.
Majungasaurus. Sure, it may have a
so this is from Dinosaur Revolution.
But the Majungasaurus was easily one of the most dangerous dinosaurs to have walked the planet.
Why? What's so great about Majungasaurus? Why not Rajasaurus on here? I don't know. Why not any other Belosaurid? What's so good about Majungasaurus? Please tell me.
Evidence shows that the Majungasaurus had a similar hunting technique to cats, as they would bite into a predator and not let go until it bled to death.
They bite into a predator? I think they bite into the prey. But wait, where did they get this from? How do they know it hunted like that? Bite it until it bled to death? And cats don't even do that. Cats suffocate their prey. I mean, the large, big cats when they're hunting big game. They suffocate it. So, what? Or if you're like my cat, she just shreds things. She tears it apart. For fun. She doesn't even eat them. Just kills mice for fun. Which I'm thankful for that. I hate mice. Okay, so...
Teeth marks have been found on the bones of a Repetosaurus, indicating that the Majungasaurus hunted and killed these elephant-sized creatures with ease. As if that wasn't scary enough.
Okay, but Tarbosaurus is also hunting sauropods, and probably sauropods that were larger or the same size as Repetosaurus. So, why Majungasaurus? Is it because they're going to say cannibalism? Because pretty much any theropod is going to be cannibalistic.
Also evidence that Majungasauruses were cannibals.
There we go. They did.
The Majungasaurus have been found on bones of the same genus.
I do have an issue with how they portray it here. It's like the female is hunting that male. I don't think they would hunt another Majungasaurus, another fully grown one. But, I mean, you would definitely scavenge free food. I mean, if it's free food, why not eat it? Cannibalism is the norm in nature and predation. If you have a free meal right there, you're gonna take it, even if it is your long-lost brother, okay?
In short, even Majungasaurus...
So, it's not special to Majungasaurus, for sure.
Don't mess with Majungasauruses. Number 5,
that's true of anything.
Spinosaurus. The Spinosaurus certainly sounds like a dangerous creature, and believe us, it more than lives up to its terrifying name.
Terrifying? It's just Spinosaurus. What's so terrifying about that? I had some problems with this at the beginning. Whatever. But the more it goes on, just more nonsensical things are said. It's just, it hurts, man. It hurts. I need my blankie also. Blankie and chalky milk, please. Please say help.
The Spinosaurus was just as large, if not larger, than a Tyrannosaurus.
Why do we keep using Tyrannosaurus as the metric for things? Okay.
Measuring over 45 feet in length.
Okay, there, yes.
20 metric tons.
Okay, no. Probably not, no.
Makes it one of the biggest, if not the biggest, carnivorous dinosaur. And it basically ate anything.
It was longer than Tyrannosaurus, but not heavier than Tyrannosaurus. Tyrannosaurus is the largest theropod dinosaur, largest being mass. Okay, not length. You could say longest. Spinosaurus was the longest theropod dinosaur we know of, but not the largest.
It could get its claws on. And that's not all. The Spinosaurus also had the ability to swim, so it could take to the water should it not find any fresh meat on land. No one was safe from the fury of the Spinosaurus.
Fury? This thing's a fish eater. It's fishing Uncle Pristus out of the river as you're showing. Oh, it's deadly to fish. Alright, it's dangerous to fish. True. But this isn't the dangerous to fish list, is it? Actually, we don't know what we're talking about it's dangerous to, because they're... okay, anyways. Yeah, this gotta be a no for me, dog. I mean, yeah, would I go up to a Spinosaurus and give it a hug? Definitely not. It could scoop me up with that snout and just suck me down. But I probably wasn't a fast runner either, so I could probably outrun it. And yeah, no.
Number 4, Ankylosaurus. The Ankylosaurus.
Did they have to use that Walking with Dinosaurs Ankylosaurus?
And we're sure that its appearance alone.
I'm okay with a lot of other Walking with Dinosaurs depictions.
It weighed
but the Ankylosaurus is crazy.
Tons, had 4 horns on its head. Its entire body was protected by armored plates, and various bones in its body were fused together to give it even more strength.
Anything else would have been better than the Walking with Dinosaurs one, and then they had to show the Jurassic World one, the one Ankylosaurus that is worse. Okay, I'm sure there are worse ones out there, but you know what I'm trying to say.
On top of its tank-like appearance, it also had a massive clubbed tail, and when swung with enough force, it could easily shatter the leg of an approaching predator or cause some massive damage to its skull.
I was so close to walking out of the theater of Jurassic World. It hit the Indominus Rex in the face with its club tail, full force, and the Indominus just shrugs it off. That was so stupid. So stupid. And it's not like the Indominus has armor or anything. It just has a normal theropod face. And its skeleton's not made of adamantium. So why is it so tough? Why can't it take a blow straight to the face and be perfectly fine?
Simply, dinosaurs
I don't know,
wouldn't
man.
want to be anywhere close to the Ankylosaurus when its tail started whipping.
Very true. Okay.
Number 3,
Okay.
Allosaurus. The Allosaurus
Alright, I
is
can see
not only
Allosaurus.
the most popular and studied genus of dinosaur, it's also one of the most vicious.
How do you know that? How do you know that it's the most vicious? What in the fossil record told you that? Please tell me. Let me know. What makes it so much more vicious than the Majungasaurus?
Was an enormous creature, with the largest specimen measuring at over 30 feet long. And
It's not enormous. I mean, it's very big for today's standards. It would easily be the largest land predator today, but compared to, you had Tarbosaurus on this list, Mapusaurus, Carcharodontosaurus. No, get out of here.
2.3 metric tons.
Get out of here.
Thanks to its size and might, the Allosaurus was king of the food
But if we're
chain.
doing it by size, then why isn't Saurophaganax here? Saurophaganax we established was much larger than Allosaurus fragilis. This may be Allosaurus maximus if you call it that, but I'm gonna stick with Saurophaganax for right now. It's like the logic it's not logicking.
And it preyed on a wide variety of dinosaurs, including sauropods and stegosaurids.
Okay, so did the Saurophaganax.
It's also been put forth that the
No,
Allosaurus
no.
hunted in packs.
Okay,
If
yes, that's
true,
fine.
Then that is absolutely terrifying.
Okay, it probably did not. So, we have a big bone assemblages at the Cleveland Lloyd Quarry, which is bunches of Allosauruses, but they're probably killing each other. That's not a pack if they're all just killing each other. That's how they got there. They kill each other.
One is mean enough, we don't even want to imagine what a group of them could do. Number 2.
Allosaurus would be on my list for this. Because it's not quite giant. A lot of specimens are like between like 25, 30-ish feet long. It's in that range where we would be good prey for them. They would snack on me very quickly. They would like that. And yeah, giant hook claws. I'd see it. Why is this the next one? Why is this the next one? Why is there a Velociraptor coming out of your oven, Seymour? At this time of day, at this time of year, in this part of the country, localized entirely within your video. Alright, let's get through this. That's not a Velociraptor.
While Velociraptors were made famous due to their appearance in Jurassic Park, they were actually much smaller in real life.
Okay.
About the size of a turkey.
But why are they number 2? Okay, Tyrannosaurus is gonna be number 1. Let me check. Hey, look at that. Tyrannosaurus is number 1. Wow, crazy. But why? Why is Velociraptor more dangerous than Utahraptor? What? I would fight a Velociraptor any day over a Utahraptor. This turkey-sized creature versus a polar bear-sized one with all the same weaponry.
They had massive claws they used for fighting.
Okay, yeah. So did Utahraptor.
Modern research done by Denver Fowler argues that they had another method of killing called raptor prey restraint.
What about Utahraptor? What about Deinonychus or any other dromaeosaurid? They just picked Velociraptor because it's popular.
Thinks the Velociraptor would pin its prey under its massive claws and eat it while it was still alive. Yikes. Velociraptors are violent little...
Stop showing the Jurassic Park Velociraptor. We know that's not it. And you said in a... Well, I don't know if it came out before or after this, but in the last video I covered, they said that this was based on Deinonychus. It's a roided out Deinonychus.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel.
Yeah. I'm not subscribed, so cry about it.
You have the option to be notified for occasional videos
Alright.
Tyrannosaurus Rex. His Big Daddy himself, nothing beats the Tyrannosaurus. This big guy...
Except the Triceratops, but, you know, whatever. We're gonna ignore that you said that earlier. Alright, Tyrannosaurus. What was Tarbosaurus? I'm curious. Where's Tarbosaurus? You were 13. How is Tarbosaurus 13 and Tyrannosaurus an extremely similar animal number 1? What about Tyrannosaurus makes it jump 12 spaces ahead of the Tarbosaurus? Let's see.
Nothing beats the Tyrannosaurus. This big guy has been a mainstay in popular culture for some time.
But that's not what makes it dangerous. All right, okay.
As a hulking, carnivorous, violent beast. And yeah, that's not too far off.
That's a V-Rex. What is it? I forget what it stands for. That's a V-Rex, not a T-Rex.
It's similar in size to a Gigantosaurus, only...
Giganotosaurus or Giganotosaurus. It's not Gigantosaurus. Alright.
The T-Rex had the strongest bite force of any land-based animal in existence.
Okay, very true.
Much more
very
powerful.
True.
Getting caught between those rows of pointy teeth would not feel great. Sure, its tiny arms may look
I'd probably die instantly.
But its sheer size and strength meant that many other dinosaurs stayed far
Stop it. That's a Jurassic World T-Rex, not an actual T-Rex. Can you please?
Far away. Did one of our entries hunt down and knock your favorite killer dino off our list?
Let's see here. Okay. So the video's basically over. I mean, Tyrannosaurus probably deserves to be on this list, right? I know I was saying about size, you know, if it's something this big, yes, probably not its first idea for a snack. It wants something larger than me, like an Edmontosaurus or a Triceratops or something like that. But T-Rex did have a lot of abilities that would make it a very proficient hunter. Like its insane sense of smell, one of the best senses of smell in the fossil record. Same thing with its eyesight and its hearing. Its bite is the best or the strongest out of any land animal, land predator. All true. And I think all those things give it a spot on this list. But now if I'm thinking about myself, a Tyrannosaurus isn't my biggest fear. If I run into a Tyrannosaurus, I can run hopefully fast enough or for long enough to get away from it. And I'm not really worth putting in all that energy chasing. I'm only a couple 100 pounds. It needs like meals that are tons in weight. So I would definitely put something like Ceratosaurus, Utahraptor, Majungasaurus, Megaraptor, Styracosaurus, Centrosaurus, more Ankylosaurids. I'd put them all much higher on this list than Tyrannosaurus. But, alright. I guess that was a predictable, if not kind of lame ending. So, let's see. They have top 20 most incredible dinosaurs. There might be another good reaction there. But let me know what you think. Do you agree with this list? Do you agree with my ideas? What would you put in this extremely dangerous dinos list? I was not a big fan of this one, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, if you enjoyed this video, to please leave a like, subscribe, and to check out my social media. See you next time.